Welcome to the first ever episode of Asking 10 Questions, where we interview people from around the car community to get to know a little more about them. Today we're sitting down with one of the biggest automotive videographers currently. From doing shoots with BMW to Kansei wheels, even a music video for Xavier Wolf. From doing coverage of huge shows like SEMA and massive car shows all over the United States, we're hopping on a phone call with HALCYON. So we're here with Anthony HALCYON, and don't forget wheels, tires, suspension, fitmentindustries.com. Make sure to check out his channel as well. And this is the first episode of Asking 10 Questions, getting to know our car community a little bit better and what is going on. So Anthony, how are you doing?
Hey, good. Thanks for asking. Just trying to hold up during the quarantine.
Yeah, I hear you there. Your setup looks a little cooler than mine. I just threw my 2G clips back there because I didn't really know what to do for a backdrop. So that's what I got.
That's a nice find. It's a very nice find.
So I guess we'll just hop into the first question. All right, so we'll start off nice and easy. What do you currently shoot with? What camera are you working with?
So I'm currently shooting with a Sony a7R II, which is filming me right now, and then a Kinefinity Terra 4K cinema camera.
Awesome. And then what made you choose those two cameras?
So the a7R II I picked up in 2015. I was shooting on a 5D Mark III, but the video quality was pretty lackluster. And I knew that I wanted to move into a world of shooting 4K and having better ability to do color grading and just a whole list of features that Canon still to this day really hasn't picked up on. So the Sony for me was the move, and I went with the R2 over the S2 because I still do a lot of photo work, and the S2 doesn't have a high megapixel count. And then with the Kinefinity Terra, I was ready to move up from the Sony, but I still wanted to own the Sony. So it came down to either the Kinefinity, a Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro, a Sony FS5, or like a Red Gemini. And weighing out all the options, pros and cons, price point and everything, the Terra was the best bet for me for the value and the way I shoot.
Cool, very cool. So I guess that kind of leads, we're gonna throw it back now. What is the first ever camera that you started shooting with?
From a hobby perspective, it was a Pentax Lumix 750Z, I believe. So that was just like hobby, dogs, landscapes, flowers, like things you shoot when you first pick up your camera. Yeah. But then like when I wanted to get myself like an actual body, it was a Nikon D90.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, I started off with a Nikon too when I started shooting. When was the start of HALCYON, and how long did it take to build it to where it's at now? And did you ever like almost give up? Was it ever like too hard or anything like that?
It's a very good question. Like starting a hobby, I wanted to have a name, and I went through a bunch, but the name came from, I knew what I did. I wanted to have nothing to do with photo or video or cars from a name perspective or like a logo perspective. And I've always been collecting Lucky Cats. I've always been into Asian culture. I have one tattooed on me. So I just did it. I mean, I didn't originally, like if I knew it was going to get to this size, maybe it'd be a different name, maybe it'd be a different logo. But I just wanted something, so to speak. And I was like, yo, Lucky Cat's cool. Like, that's it. And then the name comes from the band that inspired me to kind of follow myself and what I wanted to do.
How long did it take to get to where you're at now?
So I guess in a manner of taking it seriously, it's been about 8 years or so now. And that's between the YouTube channel, shooting under that brand name, creating content under that name, whether it's YouTube or not. And within the past few years, it's kind of like, it's always been like a steady growth, but in the last like 2 years or so, it's like been more of like an exponential kind of growth.
For sure. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Who was the first big company you got to work for, and like how did it happen?
I would say like client side, I guess the first big one would be AccuAir, RIP. Yeah. All the boys there. It seriously sucks to see them go down the way they did. But how it came about was I visited China before, and when I was there, I saw like a Type R EP3 on some like Volk T37s. I saw some Scirocco's on the street. I saw some VIP cars just cruising around. I wasn't there for anything like car related or shooting related. And that made me kind of like wonder, what is the scene like here? There's got to be something. And that was like 2011.
Okay.
And then come 2015, I've been following the guys Iacrophobia on Instagram since then, and they're a car group out of China. And I saw a flyer from one of their shows, and I was like, I need to like go to this. That would be so cool. So at like 3 a.m, I typed up a proposal to AccuAir, because when I was talking with them, they're like, yeah, most of our cars are on AccuAir. So I saw that as a possible in on how to get me there. And I got a reply by morning. Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about it more. And then on the phone call that day, not only did they want to send me to China, but they wanted to hire me to shoot content for them at SEMA.
Awesome.
So that's, yeah.
What was it like to work with Xavier Wolf? Do that.
He was cool. So he was in town to play at Tornado, Philly. And when his set was over, I literally just walked up to him. I was like, what are you doing tomorrow? He's like, I don't know, my flight's not till like super late. I was like, do you want to shoot a music video? And he was like, okay.
Dang, really?
Yeah.
That's how it happened?
Yeah, I had gone up to like 10 of my friends. I was like, yo, are you around tomorrow? Like, do you want your car to be an Xavier Wolf music video? And then like everyone showed out, and like people that were gonna like leave town in the morning, like all stayed. It was cool.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. So moving on to the next question. I know I run into this a lot, so I thought it would be a good one. Creative block. Do you get this often, and like what do you do about it?
Oh yeah. So for me, so like, let's say I'm working on a project and I'm just like really over it and like don't want to deal with it. There's a few ways to keep working on it and avoid that. So like if I'm working on the edit and it's like just building like the skeleton of it, if there's just, I'm really not feeling a part, like I don't edit from like point A to point B. Like I'll pick a section that like I know I can confidently like put together quickly, and because it's just like if something takes less than the thing on procrastination, if something takes less than 5 minutes, just do it.
Right.
So if I get stuck on one part and I'm like, or like I'll just go and I'll like color grade some clips and be like, wow, that looks really good. So there's ways to like find your way around creative block, but like in a broader sense of just like lack of motivation. There's nothing wrong with taking a break for like a day or two, or go to the gym, or just like cook a meal or something. Just like do something totally unrelated,
then come back to it.
Yeah, or if you have other hobbies, like do those hobbies.
For sure. All right, so now we have some questions from our subscribers. So the first
YouTube community.
Yeah, the YouTube community. Hey, same driver.
The cool and loyal YouTube community.
Kino Satchel, he's the first guy. He says, does car color matter? If so, what colors are best for photography?
Oh, absolutely. So black is the hardest color to shoot because it absorbs all light and reflects everything. So when you're shooting like a black car, it's tough because you're polarizing it, but at the same time, when you polarize, you're losing reflections, which is normally a good case. But on a black car, there's no other way to see the body lines other than reflections.
Sure.
So black is very tough, no matter what time of day or night. Silver is great, like anywhere from like a middle gray kind of silver to a dark gray. It diffuses light naturally, like perfectly. White's nice to shoot. I don't enjoy any metallic colors that are on the darker side because they're just like black. If your light source doesn't hit it right, it just looks like a very muted black color to a sense, but bright colors like yellow, gloss red, electric blue or something like that, those are all great.
Cool. Oh yeah. Feel Awesome asks, how do you determine the best location for a photo shoot?
I mean, I guess that's kind of subjective because it's up to your personal taste, but like, let's say if I'm shooting like a Rolls Royce or something, I'm not going to bring that to like an industrial park to do, but like if I have this like battered like S13 with like crazy fitment and like mismatched body panels, but like it all looks good, you can't shoot that the same place you would shoot the Rolls Royce in like, in like a nice park or something. But if you bring that to an industrial area, it's going to look sick. Same thing with like, that's why I love shooting in Florida, because all their industrial parks, like the loading areas, the cement is white. So if you take like a nice classy like VIP car there, like it looks like killer.
Definitely.
It's
So
just like
you
a personal favorite when it comes to like a location in a car.
yeah, you want your background to reflect the car almost. You know, you want them to some synergy going on.
Exactly. Like in downtown Appleton, like you know, a Porsche would look sick there, but like a slammed Honda Accord or something, like maybe not.
Right. Very
It
cool.
has that like brick and mortar type feel.
For sure. Nitro Street had a lot of questions, but we're going to narrow it down to just, he has like a 2-part one question. Do you pre-plan the shots you need to take before you go out for a shoot? And if yes, on what basis do you plan them?
First, I'll like map my location via Google Street View, Google Earth. That way I can make the most efficient use of our time. So let's say within 130-mile radius of an area, I have 5 locations. So for me, it would be about mapping out what's the most convenient way from A to B to C to D to E, and what can be achieved on the way to each one. And from there, I'll have an idea of what I want to do at each location. At one location, I'm going to establish the entire scenario and the car itself. By the time we get to the 4th location, I'm not going to do like the pan down reveal of the car because I've done that already.
Right.
And then when it comes to like rolling shots and stuff like that, I might find that that's the most convenient to do from this location to this location because it's a 2-lane road each way. And during this time of day, you know, school's been out, work is out, and maybe that's the most convenient route for us to shoot rollers on. Chase
Jones wants to know, when you're starting out, what's the best approach to asking people to possibly do a shoot with their car at a show?
So first thing, I would like find out who it is. Maybe he's like getting in and out of the car, and that's your answer or something. So I would try to go up to him when he's not busy. So not when he's like in the middle of a conversation with like a show judge or like just talking with his friends. It's always a good time to like catch people when they're detailing their cars. Maybe like beginning of the day or something like that. Don't try and do it towards the end of the day because people are already in the mindset they're like, oh, I'm gonna go home or go do this with somebody. So try and catch them early. You know, go up, introduce yourself. Hey, my name is so-and-so. I really love your car. You know, were you up to anything after this, or what are you doing tomorrow? I'm a photographer or videographer from so-and-so, and I'm just looking to build my portfolio. Your car really caught my eye. I would love to set something up if you'd like to.
For sure. And I think like, you know, being car guys, 99% of them want photos or want videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
So chances are they're going to say yes. So I guess it's just enough confidence to go ask them.
Like you would have to really come off like weird or like rude for someone to say no.
How much did you pay for that ticking time bomb you got?
Right. Cool. Thanks, man. I think that about wraps everything up.
Cool.
Those 10 questions flew by. Thank you so much for being on the first episode of 10 Questions. Make sure
Thank you
to
for having me.
Yeah, go subscribe to HALCYON. Check out his channel. He's doing some cool stuff. Follow him on Instagram, all the socials. And don't forget, Wheel Tire Suspension Fitment Industries.com. But yeah,
I won't steal the line this time.
Thank you again. And we'll
thank you very much for having me, Dakota. All right, y'all stay safe out there. Peace.